You can't do that to me. I'm not gonna take the bait. Fuck, okay, let's talk about the cool incarnations of death in different cultures. So the image of the Grim Reaper as a harvester tends to come about in cultures and religions that kind of lessen themselves in the face of a deity. We are but crops, and we are being harvested at the end of our life. That's the idea of the scythe imagery. But that's not the imagery that death has in a lot of cultures. Sometimes death is portrayed as feminine. Look at Santa Muerte in Mexican culture. And in Aztec culture, it was also feminine. I can't pronounce the name, I'm sorry, but their incarnation of death was a feminine skeleton who would swallow stars as they blinked out in the night sky. Baron Samedi in voodoo, like actual voodoo, is usually portrayed as like a very well-dressed gentleman, sometimes with a cane, not a scythe, and that's an incarnation of death. Many incarnations of death are looked at as judges or even businessmen. Look at Yama from Chinese mythology, and yes, that is actually where King Yama from Dragon Ball comes from. In Japanese mythology, there's Izanami and Izanagi, Izanami being burned to death and giving the concept of death to people. There's also the Shinigami, which are lesser death gods that ferry people to the afterlife, which of course have been used in modern anime like Bleach and Death Note. In Hinduism, they also have a King Yama, but this King Yama rides a buffalo and lassos the souls of the dead with a lasso, which is just amazing. Like, Death Cowboy, totally in for it. I think that should have been in Dragon Ball. Actually, come to think of it, there is something in Hindu mythology called Yamalok, which I believe is like the path to hell. I might be wrong about that, but maybe the Dragon Ball King Yama did actually incorporate some of this Hindu mythology as well. There's a figure from Lithuanian folklore, which I'm only a little bit familiar with, but I believe the myth is there's a woman who you see throughout your life who starts as young and beautiful, but by the time you hit the end of your life, she's old and has a crooked nose and a poisonous tongue, and eventually, when you finally meet her face to face, that's when you face your death. In Welsh folklore, death, instead of holding a scythe, drives a carriage that you put bodies into and that spirits ride on. And in Scottish folklore, the Cúshi, once again, bad pronunciation, they're dogs that actually carry the souls from their lives to the afterlife. I am very down for Death Puppy. So yeah, once again, this is just kind of a brief overview, and I have vastly simplified lots of these things, and I cannot pronounce any of these names correctly. But the scythe imagery is just something kind of specific for the Grim Reaper in modern-day Eurocentric cultures, specifically with a Christian influence. But death has been portrayed in a lot of different ways.